If you're new to the project, a big warm welcome. If you're a tough old root, then welcome back. In today's video, we're finishing the foundation of our pallet tower. Yes, a tower house made out of pallets, which not only includes creating our own anchors from scratch, but laminating these 3 large beams out of pallet wood and then leveling the foundation with pallet wood as well. I'm Josh, and this is our daughter, Ivy.
I'm Celia, and this is our son, Hamish.
Here on Steep in the Woods, we live completely off-grid on a 26-acre homestead nestled deep in the Appalachian Mountains. You'll see no fancy stuff here. It's just making do with what you have and what you can figure out. So these are the anchors that we're going to be using here. I just went to Lowe's, got the biggest eye hooks I could find, a couple extra washers, a couple extra bolts, and there you go. These are, homemade anchors. These are made for the intention of sinking them into concrete. Now, in order to hold these in place while we're pouring our concrete in the holes, I've got a couple pieces of pallet wood here, and we're just going to tape them to the top. A lot of times you would use something like string, but I'm going to go with wood to give it a little extra rigidity in the hopes that these will actually stay centered as I'm shoveling in our concrete. We're going to lower him in and mark where we want this to go, so we can pull it out and actually nail this to it. So I don't want it all the way at the bottom. A little bit off the bottom, right about there. You got a permanent marker. I'm gonna mark, mark, and mark. All right. So now we go back over to the table. We'll use these marks, put a couple nails. You can use screws, or shoot, you can even use tape. And we're gonna attach these, and then we'll come back, set him in, put a little bit of dirt on this top piece of pallet wood, and start filling them in. I mean, it's that easy. Once the concrete sets, we can easily reach down here, pull off the tape, rip the stick out, what have you. This is just a way of holding it still and holding it relatively centered as we're working. So I'm just gonna put a single nail in this because I do want the ability to pivot it. And once we get it exactly where we want it, we can put a little bit of tape on it to keep it a little bit more secure. Like that. And flip him over. Hammer that down. All right, now we have a secured, attachment here that can wiggle. From here, it's super easy and really basic. Get yourself some concrete and get yourself some water, mix that up, and pour them in. I would, encourage you to pour them in carefully, even though we did as much as we could to try to keep these anchors as stiff and still as possible, with wood and tape and dirt and whatnot. Just do it carefully. I'll probably mix mine a little bit watery, just to help with that, to help it sort of form to those bolts and those washers. But yeah, hey, let's go get some concrete and some water. While we're waiting for the concrete of our anchors to harden up, we're gonna go ahead and start laminating our 3 large beams. We're using pallet boards, all of which are 54 inches long. I've already finished one off of camera, and I'll show that to you now. As you can see, it is 6 boards thick. So in order to laminate them and have all the seams line up at the same unit of measurement, that works out to be 9 inches. So 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, and 54. We're also using mending plates on the outside of these beams because it makes me feel good, right? So the way that we're laminating these is not quote unquote code lamination. So wherever there is a seam, you've only got, say, all right, so we're going 6 boards wide. That only gives you 5 boards strength because there are seams there. You know, at any given point, there will be 2 boards that butt up that aren't solid. So we're using mending plates on those just to give us a little bit more strength. Now, I also want one end of our beams to be square and flush, which means that I need to cut boards at 9, 18, 27, etc. length to give us a flat edge on it. However, the opposite end, the end that'll be towards the back of the house, we're leaving staggered to make it easier to add boards onto it later, because I intend to use these same 3 beams to add an addition to our house. So now we're just going to start cutting our links and start laminating these boards. I am using both screws and nails because I like screws. I like the compression action that they give. No, they're not necessary. Everyone will tell you to only use nails, but I want it to look good, and nails don't squish well. So the screws are a way of forming each of these crooked boards together to give us a relatively solid and straight, decent looking beam. Now that I have all my boards cut, it's just a matter of nailing them together. Use whatever you want. I have a variety of different fasteners, from shorter nails to longer nails to screws. I've also got some clamps and other things of that nature to help work out any warps that may be in our boards. But none of that is necessary. Just nail them together with a ton of nails. You can also, if you don't want to pre-cut all of your boards to make a flush end of your beam, you could laminate full-size boards and then just cut those off later. But since I'm using screws, and I refuse to not use them, those are really hard to cut through. So it's easier for me, and it will save me money in the way of Sawzall blades, to just go ahead and cut them now and make the end flush instead of having it staggered and cutting it later. So either way, grab your stuff and start nailing, boys. So I'm putting mending plates on the outside only. I played around with the idea of putting them inside, but that's an enormous amount of mending plates, and they don't give these away. So we're just gonna put them on the outside where the seams line up, and I'm gonna do that with my blacksmith hammer. A lot of people say you can't do this without a press, but that's just baloney. So I'm gonna use the flat end. And there we go. For, I think it was like 70 cents. I ordered these off of eBay. For 70 cents, you've almost got another layer of lamination here. So that was definitely worth it. And quick and easy. All right, now that we got the beams relatively done, I'm not finishing them into the perfect size yet. I believe that we're gonna have to add a couple more pieces towards the back end of this to make it fit our floor and to support it correctly. But there's an awful lot of unknown when it comes to pallets. None of the measurements are exactly the same, so I'm not gonna do anything definite yet until we actually get the floor laid down and see. I don't wanna make it 1 inch short. So we're gonna wait and do that later. However, right now, we're gonna go ahead and coat these in Appalachian red maple, which will not only make them look good like this, but will weatherproof them. Now that all 3 of our beams are finished, we need to widen out these anchor holes just slightly so that we can attach cables to our beams once they're in place. We also need to do the fine-tune leveling of our block foundation using pallet boards. We're also going to coat those in Appalachian red maple, and then we'll finally be able to put our beams in position. You would think, hey, he's about to do some digging. Where's the shovel? Well, no, we're really just smashing our way through this earth. This is the hardest earth on planet Earth. So I've got a hammer here. I've got another hammer. This little deal right here is already bent, so I guess he's just as an emergency backup. But yeah, dig out this hole. I've got a guide string here, which will tell me when I've dug enough. Safety first. Now that we've finished our anchor holes, it's time to start cutting pallet boards to use in the fine tuning of our foundation leveling. So that's pretty much it. I would encourage you to anchor your structures. That's how we did ours, and it was a DIY anchor. You can buy store-bought anchors. However, they were not going to work for the type soil that we had here. But regardless, anchor your structures, big or small. And then with the laminated beams, they weren't easy to create, but they were simple. So just because you don't have the correct size lumber for your project doesn't mean that you have to discard the project in its entirety. Just buy a couple more boxes of nails and use whatever you have on hand. In a perfect world, I would not have used wood on top of our foundation to level it, but these are used block. So actually using wood, because these blocks have irregular shapes to them, they are used, they are not perfect. The wood helps span that gap and distribute the weight evenly, even though there may not be a perfectly solid surface. So wood for this application, definitely a thumbs up. I would encourage you to use that, and always take any means that you have to get the most out of your structure and to get the most out of your effort. You do not necessarily need Appalachian red maple or burnt motor oil, but I really just encourage people to the amount of time that it took and what you may or may not get out of it, it's definitely worth the risk. And no, I've had the question several times. It does not make the board easier to light. The board may burn longer because of it, but it is not a flammable board. This is not any easier to light and to get burning. So either way, that is it for this video. I'll be sure to bring y'all along for the rest of this build. And always remember, if you liked what you saw, hit that button. If you're new to the project, hit that other button. You would help support the project. There are links below. Until next time, here, Steve in the Woods.